Hi everyone, it's Eric and today I'll be reviewing the iPhone 6 Plus. This is Apple's first attempt at creating a phablet. Now I am no stranger to phablets myself. I currently own as my daily driver the Nexus 6 and that is a gigantic 6-inch screen compared to this 5.5-inch screen. So I'm no stranger when it comes to large screen smartphones and I really do prefer them as well and I get along very well with them. So how does a phablet user get along with the iPhone 6 Plus? Well, in this review we're going to find out. Let's get to it. So let's first cover off the design. Simply put, the iPhone 6 Plus looks beautiful. The iPhone 5's design was overrated in my opinion as it looked practically identical to the iPhone 4 on 4S, but this time it looks significantly different and I really appreciate that. Now I should cover off the elephant in the room, bendgate. Is it serious and is it something you should worry about? Well, if you keep your iPhone in a case, then it's not really a problem. If naturally you want to feel and enjoy the lovely materials of this phone that you invested so much of your money in, then I would not recommend that you get this phone, as over time there is a strong possibility that it will slowly but surely bend in your pocket. It's a phablet and naturally its slab-like design will have pressure applied to it when you bend down to do various things, so that is something to definitely keep in mind. So as I said, the iPhone 6 Plus has a 5.5-inch screen, and Apple finally updated the screen resolution to Full HD 1080p. This is without a doubt one of the nicest iPhone screens to consume media. It's definitely not the best display out there, but it's far better than previous generations. It has the new A8 processor, which is clocked at 1.4 GHz dual-core, has 1GB of RAM, an 8-megapixel camera with optical image stabilization and 1080p video recording. So now you're seeing what the 1080p HD video capture looks and sounds like on the iPhone 6 Plus. It's also got optical image stabilization as well, which really helps with making those shots much smoother whenever you're shaking your hand about whilst recording video. Also, whilst we're actually recording this session right here, I'll also say that the battery life on the iPhone 6 Plus is absolutely amazing. I mean, it's one of the best batteries I've experienced on an iPhone, and every single day I always have some battery left at the end of the day. I've never actually depleted the battery on the iPhone 6 Plus. It's not the best battery out there, but it is definitely in the top 5 list of best batteries on a smartphone. It also has a 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera which is capable of capturing 720p HD video. Now the specs on paper are very unimpressive, but the actual real-life performance of the iPhone 6 Plus is great. When you stack it up against some other flagship smartphones, it still holds its own very well. That being said, if you are paying a flagship price for this, Apple really should upgrade the specifications to match other smartphones. If the iPhone can be this powerful with low specifications, imagine how fast it would be with the latest architecture. But I digress, the performance is still great. Now let's talk about the 8-megapixel camera. Previous iPhone cameras in my opinion were overrated. The photos were good, but I had definitely seen better from other smartphones. The iPhone 6 Plus, however, currently has one of the best cameras on a smartphone today. The pictures are nice and detailed, the color reproduction is very accurate, and it is incredibly fast at taking photos. Even HDR pictures are taken almost instantly. The 1080p video looks really good as well, especially when you take the iPhone 6 Plus out in a sunny day. The only downside for video is that the audio captured from the microphone is not as impressive as the actual video quality. The 6 Plus also has an improved and more reliable fingerprint scanner, which is much quicker and less buggy than it was with the iPhone 5S. It's not perfect as I still experience some inconsistency here and there, but it's definitely much more accurate this time round. Now the iPhone 6 Plus has got a really nice screen, but with the screen you also need good quality speakers, and does the iPhone 6 Plus come with good quality speakers? Or speaker as I should say. Well, it's got one speaker grill at the bottom over here, and the iPhone 6 Plus, I'm going to say the speaker, when you're basically holding it up like this and you're about to watch video like this, the speaker is terrible. It is so tinny and so distant. That being said, if you put the phone on a flat surface like a desk or table or something like that, the sound is tremendously improved. So I would definitely recommend that you do that. And overall the speaker, it's not at all going to blow away any front-facing speakers you get on even the budget smartphones like say the Moto G 2nd generation, or if you go on the top-end devices like the Nexus 6, those front-facing speakers blow it away, and the HTC One don't even go there. But as far as bottom-facing speakers go, these are some of the best on the market. Okay, now I want to talk about some major problems of the iPhone 6 Plus, and the first is the design. Now I am convinced that Apple put all their time and effort on the iPhone 6 and put no effort at all on the iPhone 6 Plus. Although I like the design, it is not suited for a big device. As soon as I unboxed this phone, I picked it up and whilst using it, I dropped the phone in my lap 5 times in a row. This phone is just so slippery and cumbersome to hold. Normally with phablets you can use hand gymnastics and pretty much get around the whole device with one hand. That is not the case at all with the 6 Plus. It is so slippery that you can't even take it in and out of your pocket without dropping it. Indoors this is not too bad, but when you're out and about and constantly on the move, it's an accident waiting to happen. That in itself is a deal breaker if you don't like to put cases on your phone. You just won't be able to manage with the 6 Plus. The other problem is the screen. The contrast is absolutely terrible. The blacks are so grey and washed out, it is unbelievable. When you are navigating around the OS, it's not a problem, but when you're watching movies or trailers like the third Avengers trailer, the dark parts of the video are terrible, and I am really surprised at how bad the contrast is. The next problem is iOS. Now I am not the only one who is experiencing this, but iOS 8 is really buggy, and it is not at all the smooth OS that it was praised for. It has really fallen behind, and now Android and Windows Phone are smoother than iOS. It's also very dull and hardly changed from its first iteration, and I really am growing bored with it. It's not like Apple are out of ideas or anything. They should just go to the jailbreak team and look at the plethora of features that they could implement, because as it stands, their OS is really dated. Also, why does the 6 Plus come in a ridiculously low 16GB capacity, like I've got right here? I'll tell you why. Apple know the 16GB version is not enough, so they deliberately put it there just so you would jump to the 64GB version. That way you don't pay the starting price. You go for the next model up and that gives Apple more money. That is disgusting. No other company today who is making a flagship smartphone is ripping their customers off with a 16GB capacity. It's not even 16GB. The OS takes up a lot of the space and you end up having about 9GB left, so Apple essentially are selling you an 8GB iPhone for £619. You might as well pay the £80 more and get the next model up, and that will set you back £689. That is way too much money, and I am really disgusted that Apple are ripping you off with these prices. They've seemed to have been doing that a lot lately though, haven't they? With the underpowered iMac, the non-upgradable Mac Mini, the new MacBook, and the overpriced £10,000 Apple Watch. You might think I hate the iPhone 6 Plus, but I really don't. My only problem is value. With all these other large screen phones coming out, the iPhone 6 Plus seems like a copy, and an inferior one at that. But if you don't mind paying the premium and you live within the Apple ecosystem and want a larger iPhone, then this is the phone for you. But for me, Apple need to work on their iOS and give us value. The 6 Plus would have been a better buy if the price was cheaper, but unfortunately it costs way more than it's worth. I would suggest that you wait for next year's model, as Apple really need to go back to the drawing board with this one if they want it to be a true solid choice in the phablet market. So that does it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. A big thanks must go over to Vodafone for sending me this iPhone 6 Plus over to review. A link to their website will be in the video description below. And definitely please give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help, and share this video as well, so others who will know how a phablet user gets on with the iPhone 6 Plus. Until next time, I'll catch you all in the next video. Take care.